Welcome to Inside Toombs County Football with head coach Buddy Martin. Coach Martin, thank you for being back with us again this week.
Yes, sir.
Big win over Jefferson County last Friday night. Can you talk about some things that you learned during that game and some things that you're working on in practice this week?
Yeah, we had a great win. Some guys that just stood out and played really well. Offensively, TJ had a really big night. Threw the ball really well. He's getting better every week. We've got some guys that, Laganza went and caught the football several times. Keyshawn DeLoach made 2 big catches. And, you think about what Gavin Fletcher has done this season and Mike Polk's done this season, just a really talented group of receivers. Unfortunately, running backs, Davin ran hard, Kamari Williams had some good runs, and, unfortunately, he went down with a knee injury. And, offensive line, I think we're getting better there, figuring out, how the best way to put together those 5 sometimes is a puzzle that takes some time, but I think we're getting better. And defensively, I thought we played very well, played very fast. Some guys that just got after it. Hayden Johnson had a big night. Davin Wadley had a big night. And then as a group, the effort they played with, I thought was pretty special. Special teams had a big night. Braylon had some opportunities to kick field goals and several extra points, and was on point with every one of them. And, kickoffs, he's putting them inside the 5 consistently, and we did a good job of getting down the field and covering and making the tackles. So. Thought we had a good night, all 3 phases of the game. One area that we've already talked about this week, and we've got to get better moving forward is penalties. Had 125 yards or so in penalties, and you're not going to beat a good football team. You're not going to win a close game with 125 yards in penalties. So some things we've got to clean up. We take a lot of pride in holding our guys accountable and doing what's right. So there were some bonehead penalties in there that basically our guys didn't respond well to. So, working on those things and working forward and just trying to, again, trying to focus this week on Toombs County being a better football team.
Treutlen County's coming into the pit this Friday night for homecoming. How do with all of the distractions going on at school, homecoming parade this week, all of the dress-up days and everything, how do you keep your guys focused on the ultimate goal on Friday, playing well and being able to win the homecoming game?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. I think it's one that a lot of times coaches sit around and scratch their head and try to figure out what's the best way to do that with all the stuff that goes on a week like this. But at the end of the day, it's fun. It's fun for them. I think we just try to remind them that, the reason all this stuff happens is because of the football team, because of the game. And told them the same thing last week. Last week there was a lot of buzz last week with the tailgate, with the just a lot of neat, awesome things going on that were a lot of fun that increased the experience for everybody, our community, and even our football players. But just try to get them to understand that, look, their time to turn it loose and get after it is 8 o'clock when that ball's kicked off. And that if we go through the week, on a roller coaster, we're exhausted by the time Friday gets here. But if we can be steady, and then the time that we get to turn up, the time that we get to turn loose is at 8 o'clock on Friday night. That's what we just try to keep focused on. I want them to have fun. I want them to participate. Want them to enjoy it and get the whole experience of it, but just try not to get too up and too down and too rambunctious, too playful, because I think that's when you're doing that emotionally through a week like this, it can end up, wearing on you by the time Friday night gets here. So just try to be even keel, go to work every day, realize that a lot of this stuff is for the students, and we're the ones that have to go out and perform at 8 o'clock. And I think the other part of it is just, each week we've tried to keep our focus on us, not necessarily on our opponent. As a coaching staff, we spend a lot of time breaking down opponent, preparing for the opponent. What's the opponent going to do? What's the best position to put our kids in to be successful against what the opponent does? But for our kids, trying to keep the focus on, hey, we need to improve this. We've got to be able to do this well. These things right here, we've got to fix and adjust so we can continue to be successful. So just trying to keep their focus on, stay the course, improve. I think is the best way to combat that.
Looking at Treutlen County, what are you guys seeing in film this week? What are we working on in practice to prepare for Friday?
Yeah, Treutlen's, they've had a rough start to their season. Coach Collins over there, I know he's going to have them coached up. He's going to have them ready to do what it takes to win. I think one of the biggest things you try to just tell your players is, you don't get caught up in a team's record or schedule or how many points were scored against this team and how many points you scored against this team. It's about playing the game on Friday night. So just again, not so much about Treutlen, but about Toombs County and areas we've got to fix, we've got to adjust to have the season that we want to have to get in this region play in a very tough region and be successful. So that's kind of our focus this week.
Last week, downtown tailgate was completely packed with people. We got to the pit and our side was completely full. South end zone was completely full with people in folding chairs. It was a really good atmosphere. So can you speak again kind of what that playing in that type of atmosphere means to you and your players and how that might affect, the way that you guys approach things?
Yeah, I think, we've got a couple of, Coach Smothers coming up here from Florida. First regular season home game in the pit for him. It was neat just to be like, man, this is unbelievable. Nothing like I've ever experienced. And had some people that, came to us, I was surprised that we had that good of a crowd. And I wasn't surprised. I think that's what this community is unbelievable. I love how our student section has developed and turned into something really awesome there, and the uniqueness of the pit. When we put that wall up there and people can bring their chairs and sit, I think it's a phenomenal place to play football games, and we have a phenomenal community that supports us at home and on the road. Our fans travel, and we appreciate that, and it makes a difference in the ball game. It makes a difference to the opposing team when they roll in the pit and they see how many people we've got there and how we've got it packed out. So many people. I think one of the things that I sit back and look at on Saturday morning, I'm drinking a cup of coffee and I'm just thinking about being the head coach and the athletic director. There's a lot on my plate, a lot of things going on, and to think about all the people that come together to make what happens at the pit on Friday night happen. The people that come together to make a downtown tailgate happen. Special, and it's truly special. And one of the things we talk to our players about every day during dog checks, how we start every day, is don't take things for granted. And the facilities, the relationships, the support, the administration that we have in place here is unbelievable and makes an impact, and it's definitely a big part of the success we're having this year.
Thank you so much, Coach. Good luck Friday night against Treutlen. This has been Inside Toombs County Football with head coach Buddy Martin. Until next time, be sure to like this video and subscribe, and thank you very much.